So today is Saturday and we are heading to a loppis. Loppis in Sweden, and if you've been following on my channel, you'd know it means second hand. And it's a very popular trend here up in the north of Sweden. And today is Saturday in the town of Sri Lankan. We have 3 different loppis places, actually 4. I'm not sure if the 4th one is open. One is an antique place. I've never been to this one. This is a place called Kerstin's Udde. You can see the waterfront is behind me. It's just so beautiful here. And so let's go and see what it looks like. I'm not really sure. I've never been here. It might just be very disappointing, but let's go and have a look either way. Oh, look at this. This place, Kerstin's Udde, has been closed for a really long time. And I've never really been here last couple of years, but look at the waterfront. It's so beautiful. It's just full of windows here. You can just sit here, have your coffee, really enjoy the view. It's just so beautiful. So let me give you a little bit of background history. Kerstin's Udde used to be a restaurant and a dancing place, but for a long time and a number of years it was just closed. It was owned by the commune. Then a few years ago they sold it to a couple of ladies who ran the camping site and Kerstin's Udde, not as a restaurant. It was closed for the most part of it. And the 2 ladies ran it for, I think, a couple of years until they decided to sell it on. A couple from Holland have moved here to Sri Lankan. They bought Kerstin's Udde as well as the camping site, and they run it as a business. Now, this loppis, or second hand, is a shop that they have started. It's open every Saturday, and everything you see here is things that they have sourced from a house that they bought in the village. So what happens is they buy a house. A couple left. I think the gentleman got sick and they moved from the house, and the families who obviously live in Stockholm, they don't want to be moving up to the north. They sell the house with everything in it. So all the stuff that they inherited with the purchase of the house is what they're selling here. As you can see, there's some Christmas stuff. There were some kitchen utensils. My mum and I bought some wooden spoons, and this owl was really fun. I could see somebody buying it if they were really a collector of owls. I did have an aunt once who was. In today's vlog, I'm walking in the forest. I've got my trusty bucket because I'm going to show you how we pick the cloudberries here in Sweden. It's a very rare berry that you find up in the north of Sweden. So we really are very lucky. Our summer house is in an area where you can find these berries, but as you can see, it's a big vast forest or marshland. They grow in sort of wet marshland sort of climate, but we are here to pick. We usually spend about maybe half an hour, 40 minutes picking. Let's see what we can find. So these are the sort of berries that you pick. They have to be ripe. I've just started. It's not an easy thing to do because you really have to bend down. They're not in bushes. Oh, look at it. Found a little frog. So this is what I will be picking. And then it goes into the box. So there are a couple here. And a few here, but these ones aren't ripe yet. Can you see they're really red? We want them looking like this really orange color, then it's ripe for the picking. As you can see, there's a lot of marshlands here, and that's really the typical growing temperature and climate as well as atmosphere for the cloudberries. As you can see, if I can easily push into it with my boot, as you can see here, and that is what allows the cloudberries to grow. But see, these ones are too raw, they're not ripe yet. We have to leave them, but it's very sporadic, and sometimes you would find a few together, but some years we've got loads. But I wanted to show you this. Look, we've got a little mushroom growing. Usually the mushrooms grow only in late August, early September, but It's been raining a lot here, so it's starting to sprout up. There's some blueberries over there, but we are focusing on our cloudberries. This is what I've picked, not very much, but I still have 15 minutes left for my half an hour. To really scour the place. Usually you get clusters all over, but at the moment it's very sporadic, so it's good exercise. One over here. Now this is why they call it the gold of the north. It's really difficult to find. It's very, very expensive to buy in the shop. Okay, there's these. There's a few here, over here, but they are not ripe. Maybe that one. Look at that. Nope. Very disappointing, actually. But I'm happy to be having this much, and my husband's picked up some as well. Some years are very, very fruitful, and others, obviously, like this. You get a few, but not very much. And some years actually don't get any. So it really depends on the weather, the climate, how everything lines up for the cloudberries. My sons have joined us now to start picking some cloudberries. They've picked some blueberries here for us. My younger son's still picking blueberries, but my older son has started to pick some of the cloudberries. So, okay, let's see what we can find. Here we are. Not very big, but it's ripe nevertheless. It's picked up one that's really, really big. Wow. Can you put it in there? Great. My alarm for half an hour has rung, and as you can see, that's all I've picked. That's why it's so expensive, and we are really lucky we can have some years that are really good and we pick as much as we can, and then some years like this are pretty okay. It's better to have something than nothing at all. Day 3, we decided that we were going to go and grill at a place called Önskesjön. So this is part of this forest. It's quite large expanse, and I will take you down there further when we've had a time to settle down. But there's another grilling place over there, and then this is just open space. My husband's coming up, so let's see what we're going to do. So while my husband gets the fire started, let's go and check on the boys. So boys, how's the fishing going, Anthony?
I will not fish.
No. How's... Oh, be careful, Matthew. Vänta, här. The hook is starting kort.
I want to catch a fish and really...
No, you're not really. You're going to take it
Så.
and eat it.
Vet du vad du gör? Well done, Anthony. So as you can see, my eldest son is into fishing at the moment, so it was nice that he could spend some time doing that. He didn't catch anything, but on my shorts, if you want to go back, I'll have it linked in the description box below. He did catch a fish with his grandfather a few days after. So the fire is going. It does take a while for it to burn up, and the boys were entertained, and I thought I'd take you around for a walk. So I'm now walking to the other grilling section that's just around the corner here to see if there's got any more wood. We brought some wood with us. Sometimes they always have wood here as well. My in-laws are bringing some more wood. Unfortunately, there's no wood in this area either, but this is the waterfront from this view, and then they've got this little thing that you can grill on. They've got a bench, and then they've got this section. They have all these sort of huts built up, so you can come sit here and get a little bit of protection from the cold air that blows. They've got one here, and then obviously we are in the main section down there. They've got some tables. People like to bring their fika and come and hang out here and just enjoy the beautiful nature that Sweden has to offer. So we are used to grilling quite a bit when we're up in the north. So we've got freezer bags and we've got water and drinks, but this was a first time for us. My mother bought a sandwich grill maker that you could use directly on the fire, and we were going to try that out. My father-in-law, like I said, my mother-in-law and father-in-law came. They were going to hang out with us a little bit. He's putting the dog back into the cage. and I was unable to film. He just really went crazy, the dog. Once we were done, the kids were able to grill some marshmallows, and then we were time to head home.
And to grill the marshmallow. Mama wants to play marshmallow.
So day 4, my husband and I went raspberry picking. Now, if you haven't tried wild raspberries, I highly recommend it. They are so delicious. Some years we get lots of raspberries and some years you get nothing. This year there were quite a few raspberries around, but it also kind of depends on when my husband and I are up in the north of Sweden. They are towards the end of July, early August. So we were lucky. We were there during the season, and we decided now that we'd picked quite a lot of cloudberries while we were there, we were going to pick up some raspberries. My father-in-law took my eldest son to go and set up a salt stone for the moose. If you want to see a short, I'll have it linked in the description box below. But these raspberries, like the cloudberries, you just have to pick them one at a time. The bushes were quite thorny. It is a bit difficult to get around and maneuver through, but they are well worth the effort. This is what it looks like close up, really big ones. As you can see, I had a big bucket of them. Good morning. Life up in the north of Sweden. It is 9:30, but if I stop talking, you can't hear a thing other than some animals. Everything is quiet. It is Tuesday morning. I'm just out here looking at some of the birds, but everything is just so quiet and so peaceful. We have a couple more days. We leave on Friday back to Stockholm because obviously I start work next week and my husband starts work as well. But the kids have a few more weeks left on their holiday. We have quite long holidays here in Sweden, I think. So my eldest son, who has already been in school, he finished on the 13th, no, on the 12th was the last day of school. And then of course you get after school clubs if you want to, but school's closed from the 12th and they open only on the 22nd of August here in Sweden, which is a long time compared to where I grew up in Sri Lanka, which you get, I think, about 4 weeks in the summer. But you do get a lot more holidays in between the school year in Sri Lanka. It's spread out more. We do get holidays here. They have a midterm here, which is for sports week in February when it's cold, and then you have one in October. But I wanted to just show you, I'm walking around my parents-in-law's garden. It's very quiet. I don't have my mic with me, so it's probably hearing some background noises. I'm sorry about that. But I'm going to end the vlog here. The last few days of our trip here up to the north of Sweden. I can't believe we've been here for 3 weeks or even longer. But the next couple of days we'll be just tidying up, cleaning up the house, doing laundry, just really preparing for the trip back on Friday. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, having a look at how we spent the last few days up in the north here. Please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, and I'll see you next time.